Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on my second podcast of Being Sadaf. Today I have a very special guest. I actually mocked Mahjong in my last episode. Turns out I was invited to go play Mahjong at her house, and she is a fabulous human being, and I can't wait to introduce my guest today. Her name is Noshin Merchant, the queen of Mahjong. Let's throw it to her so she can tell you all about Mahjong and why it is so important to learn.
Hi. Well, thank you very much for having me here. I am not the queen of Mahjong. I am just truly, madly, and deeply obsessed with the game. And my true joy is to watch other people fall in love with the game. And that's why I teach Mahjong. For everybody who's been living under a rock and don't know what Mahjong is, it is a 4-people board game, and it's originated from the Chinese culture. And very recently, in fact, I think in the 1930s, it came to America. It was more standardized in the American culture. And we have a national Mahjong league in New York that releases a card every year. And then we can choose different hands to play with on that card. Compared to Chinese Mahjong, which has been there for centuries. We all know Crazy Rich Asians, and we all saw it over there. And it's been there forever. And the grandmas know it, and the kids know it. And there's just a standard sequence you have to make. I want to believe that American Mahjong is way more challenging. And the fact that the card changes every year helps you re-strategize and re-collaborate your brain, right? So, yeah, that is about Mahjong. And why I'm truly obsessed with it is because it keeps me going, and it keeps me alert, and it keeps me active.
So I've heard from a lot of people that it actually helps, even house, some people are just housewives.
Yeah.
And instead of just worrying about the kids, they get to keep their brain active.
Yeah.
As opposed to the ones that actually have to go to work and whatnot.
Yes.
But I think as a working woman and a podcaster, I love the game. I played it once and I actually fell in love with it. You guys, I did.
Yeah.
I know as much as I joked around about it, but I really liked the game a lot. And I thought it was something very engaging for women to come together. And even like you do, you have tables at your house set up and people play against each other in different tables. What is, I've heard that it delays dementia, Alzheimer's. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so firstly, you are right. It kind of builds a community, right? Women are coming together and choosing to gather in a way that we focus and strategize, and we're using our minds. And these are all smart women. Everybody who I have met are smart, intelligent women. We're just so busy with our mundane lives or with our kids and nap time. And, it doesn't matter how old they are. We're always worried about our kids. But these are all really freaking smart women. And it's just really nice to see that spark of realization and that awakening arise in them when they start playing Mahjong. It's like, oh my God, I haven't used my brain in so long, or I've not had an intellectual conversation with somebody sitting across from me in so long.
That is so true.
New moms come to me and they're like, wow, we haven't spoken to an adult in so long. And I think now women are choosing to gather in a way that stimulates your mind and far away from
Gossip.
all the toxic conversations that sometimes surround us. And those are draining out. I would go out for lunches and dinners with other moms and try to, by the way, I moved here from Seattle. So I am not a Houstonian. And so when I moved here, I actually made a conscious effort to, get to meet other moms of my kids and, make friends. And I would go out and it would be the same toxic conversations all day, every day. Mother-in-law or husband or nanny or kids. And my cup would be half full, hoping I would be very re-energized to go back, see my kids. But my cup would be empty by the time this conversation or this lunch would end. And I was like, I can't do
I
that
love
anymore.
that you said that.
It's so true because, and I've worked in fashion in 2 continents. I worked with Nordstrom in Seattle in the
Wow.
corporate office and on the floor. So I do love nice things too, but there's a limit on how much bags and shoes I can discuss. It's like there was this lack of intellectual conversations I was meaning to have in Sugarland at least. And I felt like there is this divide. And when I got introduced to Mahjong,
How were you
I
introduced
just-
to Mahjong?
so my daughter ice skates, and
Okay.
one of the moms whose daughter also ice skates, we spend a lot of time waiting for our daughters to, skate for hours and hours. And she introduced me to Mahjong, and she said, I play once a month and that's my alone time. And my husband knows that for 3 hours, I'm unavailable. I have detached from the world and I just enjoy playing.
That's amazing.
And I was like, I've seen that game in Crazy Rich Asians. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
So then I go take a lesson, and then I take another lesson, and then I take another lesson. And I spend the summer getting certified on how to teach.
That is amazing.
So I became an instructor, and not just that, you went through a lot of resources that I got really good at how to teach the game. And I pride myself. I think I host really good parties. And
You do. I
Thank
see
you.
them and
think
I
I'm
want to be
confident.
there. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, you're always welcome. I feel like I'm good at that. And I thought that bringing Mahjong and good parties together. So women are going out, dressing cute. We are talking like a thing or two to each other. But at the same time, we don't have time to gossip, to bitch. We have no time to have draining out conversations. We are actually using our brains. We're creating community. I met you through Mahjong.
Absolutely.
I
I'm
have
so
met
happy.
amazing women because of Mahjong. And I'm very happy doing it. And I felt like not a lot of people were doing it in Sugarland. And I was tired of driving and just going for these open play parties. And I'm like, I'm going to start doing open play parties at my house. What's the worst that can happen? At least all my girlfriends will come and play together. And I feel like women are actually taking time off and coming and playing together. And I think when you take time off and do something for yourself, you make more time. Like you re-energize your brain and you get more stuff done.
You do.
And I think that's like a little gift that you give to yourself. I also think that there's this weird sense of validation that you get when you win.
Oh, yes. I won the first time.
yeah.
And I was
Isn't it-
so excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
You do.
feel-
You get excited. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
won Mahjong.
Yeah.
And in your brain, Mahjong is a very difficult game to play.
Yeah.
It's not easy. You have to really strategize
Yeah.
and you really have to pay attention
You have
to
to
the
focus.
rules.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's this unique blend of this adrenaline rush and validation. And I feel like, Sadaf, we live in Houston. I feel like anybody can afford anything right now, okay? And you can go and buy whatever you like. But like this true sense of validation that you get, like from the game of Mahjong, that is unmatched. There's a glow
No.
on your face.
Yeah.
You're like smiling all day. I feel like that's priceless.
No, I drove home happy.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I called my friend Syra,
Yeah,
who I
yeah,
played with.
yeah.
And I was like, haha, I beat you. And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm going to beat you next time. So she probably will next time. But it was fun. We had a great time. But if you can elaborate a little bit more on like how it delays, we want
Yes.
to talk about the mental health because I'm a big advocate for mental health.
Yes.
That is one of my platforms
Yeah.
to talk about mental health and disorders that we come across. And one of the biggest things we fear as humans is getting dementia. And you see it more and more.
Yes. So I want to code it correctly. So I'm going to use a page. That was a student of mine who came to my one-on-one lesson. Her name is Dr. Faiza Khan. She is a physical therapist and a sports medicine doctorate. And she is a certified Alzheimer's disease specialist and a dementia care trainer.
Wow.
So she told me a couple of things
Okay.
that blew my mind. And I actually wrote it down so I'm saying the correct things, facts, and not making a fool of myself on air. So first thing out of the 3 important things that Mahjong brings to you is a structured routine.
Okay.
And why is that important? She said that any game that follows consistent rules and repetitive patterns, they always promote comfort, they reduce anxiety, and it supports participation in individuals with dementia. So any kind of new kind of game that you learn or any new habit or you're learning a new set of rules, you are engaging your mind, you're opening more neural pathways, and you're keeping yourself alert and active. And that helps in reducing anxiety and dealing dementia. The second thing, she said, the motor skills stimulation, because you're using your hands, you're using your mind. And Mahjong is also an auditory game. So if you remember, every time you discard a tile, you say the name of the tile.
Yes.
So you're using a lot of your senses. And that
interesting.
keeps your mind alert and active. She said visual scanning, like reading the card, tracking tiles, memory recall when you have tile recognition, hand-eye coordination. I feel like all of those things help in dealing dementia. The third thing that she said, which I hope I pronounced this correctly, neurological engagement and neurochemical response. She said it activates multiple neural pathways that I'm aware of through memory processing, strategic planning, and sequence and decision making. It releases dopamine. It's a neurotransmitter associated with motivation, mood regulation, which
Nice.
I feel as a Gemini I need it desperately. And it supports cognitive engagement and good quality of life. So these are authentic pieces of document, which I myself have seen a difference in my own life. So
In
I'll tell
yourself, have you
in
seen a positive?
Yes. So I started playing in April. So it's almost been a year. And my daughter is 6 now. So when she was 5, do you know those memory games that you open the page and then you match the other,
Yes.
you know, like the little fruit, and then you'll match the watermelon to the watermelon? You're not going to believe it, Sadaf. I would lose or maybe win one game against my 5-year-old. And playing Mahjong 3 or 4 times a week, you have to be consistent, like a workout or anything like that, right? You can't be like, I play once a month and I'm good and this is going to help delay dementia. No, you're going to have to be good at it, regular at it. I have seen my daughter is now like, oh, I don't want to play with mama. She always wins. Because now I'm getting so much sharper.
Yeah.
I can communicate with her. I can beat her at her own game.
Yeah.
And in fact, now I started some classes called Mini Mahjong, where
I
I
did see that.
teach
The
the kids
youngsters,
how to
yeah.
play. Because at the end of the day, we say no screen time. We want more family time. But what do we do about it? We end up being in the pool, but it's so cold right now. How are you going to be in the pool? So I love that my husband, my mother-in-law, my daughter, we can sit together. We can play a game of Mahjong. We're keeping away from our phones. We're doing it Sunday night. If she wins, she gets like a little star in her reward chart, or we'll treat her something nice. We just want to encourage this so that I have a 3-year-old son. He can also look up to that and,
Of course.
start playing Mahjong one day. So I like that families are coming together. I like that we are working on our time. And I like that we're trying to stay away from screens.
I agree with you because as everybody knows, screens have been compared to heroin. They're so addictive.
Yes.
That I have a problem with my own son, and that's why I'm taking your classes because I want to eventually teach my son.
Correct. And you want to encourage that.
I mean, I asked him to learn Mahjong and he was like, I'm not an old Asian woman.
Correct.
And I started
I'm
laughing.
Asian too. I'm South Asian, but okay, yes.
But
yeah.
he was like, Mama, I'm not
Yes.
an old Asian woman. I'm not going to learn Mahjong. And I was like, yes, you will.
You will.
Because it's not about being an old Asian woman, because it's about getting away from the screen and doing something with your mother. Just as a family. And that is a game that I think it's so amazing. Like back in the days, people used to play checkers or
Carom. We used to be
carom
in
board
India.
and
Yes,
like Ludo,
correct.
you know?
Yes, Ludo, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. But so I was going to ask you, which I forget now, but I was going to ask you said something about it being a family game. I want everybody to know you don't need 4 players. You can even play it with 2 people.
Yes. There's something called solo maj right now. If I have like 10 minutes before picking up my kids, I quickly play a game of solo maj. You can play 2 people mahjong called Siamese. You can play 3 without a third person called Bob or Mia. And of course, 4 people board game. That's how it's supposed to be. So I just think it's constant use of your mind, and anything I can do to actively, consciously stay away from my phone.
Yeah.
It is inevitable. I have accepted it that I can't continuously stay away from my phone. But if I can take out pockets of time during my day or during my week and allocate it specifically to mahjong, there is this feeling of adrenaline rush and validation that it gives me. And it makes me happy.
So what advice would you give someone if someone was like, well, it's an expensive game and I don't want to learn it, but I think it's an investment for your future?
In terms of expensive, do you think buying the tiles is expensive? Because there are so many right now available on Amazon.
Not about that. It's just about learning, because I would think our society would need to learn how to play properly.
Correct.
And I was going to also ask you, why is there a new card every year?
Okay. So to address this, I'm going to address the second question first, right? So the National League, this is the 88th year.
Wow.
Every year they release a brand new card, and that is one of the main reasons that American mahjong is different from Chinese mahjong.
So it's harder.
It is a little more challenging. And if I'm playing with you and 2 other people, so we're playing group of 4 every Sunday, in 2 or 3 months, I would kind of know what are the standard lines that you end up going for, or what are the standard hands my XYZ friend goes for. And we kind of get habituated with playing the same thing, and kind of becomes like, okay, we know what she's going for. The minute she even exposes one sequence or one section of her hand, I already know what hand she's going for. So I love that there's a new card every year, because it recalibrates your brain. You don't get comfortable, and you can re-strategize, which is why you don't do the same workout every day of the week, right? Maybe one day you'll do cardio, the other day you'll do strength training, you'll do a yoga session, maybe you'll do Pilates. I don't know.
We get bored very easily.
Correct.
As humans.
So
you're right.
This is phenomenal that it keeps stimulating your mind. There are various other companies that come up with their own cards, and many people who are already bored with the 2025 card have started using other companies' card just for some fun.
Okay.
So that's the reason they come up with a new card every year, I think. And I forgot what you asked me before that.
I said, what would you tell somebody that wants to learn?
Yes.
And a lot of people feel it's expensive to learn.
Yeah. So from what I've understand, there's a lot of resources available online, but I don't think anything beats the one-on-one interaction and answering individualized questions, right? I feel like there are certain questions that you have that may or may not, ChatGPT may or may not be able to answer them. And since mahjong is a board game and not ideally supposed to be like a game that we can play online, I feel the entire identity and purpose is to be present in a room without screen time. So that's why I like having an instructor. And that's how I learned it. And I would like to continue that tradition and teach one-on-one, individually.
So basically, guys, it's an investment for your future. You don't want to get dementia. You don't want to get Alzheimer's.
You can delay dementia.
Yes, you can delay it for sure.
I feel like what I understood.
I hope we don't get dementia, but we want to delay it, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's investing in your future
and
for
you
those who have asked these questions.
Correct. And you don't have to buy branded tiles if you don't want to.
Of course.
There are great options available on Amazon.
I like branded tiles. So,
of course. I mean, you like nice things. So
yes,
I understand.
exactly.
So do I. I have no Alibaba tiles, but there are options available everywhere in this world. And we like to invest in things because we know we're going to take it seriously once we've put the money in, right?
Absolutely.
And you're like, I will make the most of it because I spent $600 on this set. So I will make sure I play at least once a week to get my money's worth.
Absolutely.
So if that's what makes you happy, then why not?
Okay, so before we end this session, I want you to tell us something very unique and interesting about yourself, because I like to know about people.
Okay.
that is what my podcasts are usually about. And I find you to be very, very interesting, very kind soul. When I met you, you welcomed me into your home. And I was actually I was a little afraid. I wasn't sure what to expect because you don't know.
Yes.
But Nosheen, everybody was so kind, so gracious, so lovely. And I just want to know like a little bit about who you are.
Well, my name is Nasheen, and I was born and raised in Bombay, and I'm a Bombay girl still now in my heart.
Okay.
And I came to San Francisco to do my master's. I went back to Bombay and worked with Reliance, which is the company owned by the Ambanis. They did luxury brands.
Nice. Yeah.
So I did luxury brands for them. And I then got married to my now husband, Sajid. And we moved to Seattle. He was with Microsoft for over 15 years. I got a job with Nordstrom on the floor first. Then I started working with Gucci on the floor with Nordstrom. And then I went to corporate. For corporate, I did marketing, and I actually opened new stores for Nordstrom.
That's amazing.
In fact, the Woodland store was actually my baby.
No way.
Yeah, and one of the stores
amazing.
in Memphis, we did new store openings. We did marketing for new store openings. And later we decided that we want to start a family. And specifically for my husband and me, our best memories as kids was with our grandparents. And we wanted to give that joy to our kids. And my in-laws live here in Houston, and they're amazing people. And
That's so beautiful.
We just thought that whenever we have kids, we want to give our kids that luxury, which is priceless. Like, let my in-laws enjoy them and let them enjoy my in-laws while they're healthy and wise,
Absolutely.
So we decided to move to Houston. They live 5 minutes from our house, and my kids are truly madly and deeply in love with them, and they are too. And we love being with them. And so we moved to Houston, and then COVID happened. And then my babies happened, and I feel like I deleted 5 years of my life. And then we restarted like everybody else, and then Mahjong happened. So here I am, trying very hard to
promote it.
To promote it because I truly believe in it. I think that I teach with all my heart. And when I host parties, I welcome with all my heart. And when those two things come together, it just genuinely makes me so happy. And that's what I do.
Well, there you have it, you guys. The amazing Nosheen Merchant. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. I'm very honored, and I hope to have you on later on when the new year starts again, and we can discuss how well I'm doing.
Yes.
So as I close off, I would just like to thank Nosheen again, and thank you for watching Being Sadaf.
Thank you, guys.